Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight on the Now Bakersfield. He served our country and now he and his family are getting the Christmas gift they truly deserve. More on the gift and how he plans to pay it all forward. Plus, a Central Valley tech company may have figured out a way to prevent mail theft. The details on the new door they're designing. And more on the partnership between animal rescues to help spay or neuter local pit bulls or pit bull mixes. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Chris?
In our lineup today here on the Now, we have new information that teens are turning to vaping faster than ever. So what's being done to stop teens from picking up such an addictive habit? Also, of course, it is cold and flu season, and for some people getting sick, it is just scary. Today on the Now, we're talking about something called fever phobia. Some really good information for everybody this time of year, and also in our lineup, the holidays. Good time for a tech checkup, especially for some of our older family members.
A local man who served our country is receiving a gift that means coming home for the holidays. Tonight, the Now's Leah Pizzetti introduces us to the man and his wife who are getting this special Christmas present.
This man served our country in Vietnam. He's been through a lot in his life, and today the community is giving back to him as a way to say thank you. And he is also extending that same gratitude.
Hector Madrid was drafted in 1970.
I went young and I came back traumatized.
He struggled after Vietnam, but trying to pick himself up, getting married and having children.
Life was good and life was bad. And then it was some rough times in there.
One of those rough times happened last year. Hector fell, injuring his spine and sending him to a care home for the past 13 months, keeping him away from his home.
The doctors were afraid he would re-injure his back, fall again.
Tony Martinez, a friend, says Hector's bathroom was the problem. It's not compliant with the American Disabilities Act.
Tony and I talked about my home life, and because he knows I'm in a wheelchair, and he asked me if I had a walk-in shower, and I said, no, I don't have a walk-in. I have a bathtub, and I dread going home because I'm afraid that I'm going to slip and fall in there.
So Tony stepped in.
He said, I just want to be home with my family for the holidays.
Rebuilding Together Kern County shared Hector's story and was given one of 5 grants nationally to redo his bathroom. Now his bathroom is a construction zone. And it's out with the old bathtub and in with a new, much safer setup.
Them having this walk-in shower, like 100%, it helps me out. It helps me out a lot.
And now Hector, with a little bit of help, will turn this rough patch into a much better time.
There's no words for it. There's no words. You know, I'm humble, very humble. Life is very good to me right now.
And thanks to Tony, Hector will now be home for the holidays. For the Now, I'm Leah Pizzetti.
Great story there. Well, today is the last day for the 9th annual Chips for Kids toy drive, but it's not too late to get into the giving spirit. You still have time to make a difference for local families, and they need your help. CHP officials telling 23 ABC they've been going around collecting donations and have taken in hundreds of toys to be distributed to kids in need. However, they say there are still more than 1,000 toys short since they help more than 4,000 kids in Kern County every year. So if you would like to donate a new unwrapped toy for Christmas, there is still time. You can drop off items at all local Walgreens stores, the United Way, the CHP headquarters, even right here at the 23 ABC studios in downtown Bakersfield. The Chips for Kids toy drive accepts more than just toys. They also take clothes, blankets, shoes, shaving kits, blow dryers, and much more. Again, today is the last day of the toy drive. For more information on how you can get involved, head to our website, turnto23.com. Chris?
New findings show the percentage of high school seniors who say they vaped nicotine in the last 30 days, it's nearly doubled this year, which is a pretty dramatic increase. The Now's Kamasi Aaron found that federal officials, they want new rules and regulations to get that number down.
When you think of teens and drug use, alcohol and cigarettes may come to mind. But new findings show teens are using these substances at the lowest rates ever. And it's vaping that's on the rise in a big way. The Monitoring the Future report found nearly 21% of high school seniors say they vaped a nicotine product within the last 30 days. That's double from a year ago, making it the largest one-year increase of any substance use in the survey's history.
So this is a very abrupt increase in vaping.
Dr. Nura Volkov is the director of the National Institute of Drug Abuse, which funded the survey.
So the concern is that if you start vaping nicotine, you'll become addicted to nicotine, and then you will transition into tobacco smoking.
But the American Vaping Association disagrees, saying in a statement, at some point, professional fearmongers are going to have to examine the data and conclude that any gateway effect from vaping to cigarettes is far outweighed by the number of teens displaced from ever smoking because of vaping. 2 in 3 10th graders told researchers it was fairly easy or very easy to get a vaping device. That's why Volkov believes the government should regulate how vaping devices are sold to teens and maybe even tax them.
By making it more expensive, what you are doing is it's making it harder for teenagers to afford it. And we know that works.
If you have a teen in your life, Volkov says educating them about consequences is key.
If you don't have many alternatives and you're getting bored, you're more likely to sort of say, maybe if I get this cigarette or vaping device, it's going to be fun. I won't be so bored.
Raising awareness about a growing trend. For The Now, I'm Kumasi Urin.
Kumasi, thank you. Next for our lineup, of course, it is cold and flu season. And for some people, getting sick, it's just scary. So we're going to talk to a doctor about when you should worry and when it's okay to treat your symptoms at home. Have some new information in the Now News feed, and if New York City couldn't get any busier, right? Amazon, you think, opening the headquarters there in Queens, but now Google spending more than $1 billion on a new campus. It'll allow Google to hire twice as many people. Well, you can now find Tumblr's app in the App Store again. Apple had pulled the app from the store a month ago after child pornography issues. Tumblr is banning all adult content on its website starting today. Tumblr, a platform where bloggers can post content. Well, America has a lot of cheese lying around. Seriously, about 1.4 billion pounds of cheese just in warehouses. Cheesemakers increased production before trade tensions shot down demand. Exports to Mexico and China are down. Well, the flu is starting to spread more quickly. Activity has picked up significantly this month. In fact, take a look at this map. 3 states, you see them in brown, widespread cases. So Georgia, Massachusetts, and California. Now, the orange and yellow states also seeing an increase. And look, oftentimes the flu, it does come with a fever. And a lot of parents suffer from what's called fever phobia. 84%, according to a survey with Braun thermometers. That's when someone gets a fever and they worry about what comes next and how to respond. But fever is actually a positive sign that the body is fighting off an infection. You don't truly have a fever until you get to 100.4. And for infants up to 3 months old, anything over that, you do need to go see a doctor ASAP. For 3 months to 3 years, anything over 102 is serious. Now, if a fever continues for more than 3 days, you probably want to see a doctor no matter how old you are, or if it goes over 103. But you likely don't need an antibiotic. Tylenol will help bring the fever down. We talked to a doctor about some things that you can buy over the counter that'll help.
There's actually been a study that shows that chicken soup lessens the symptoms of the common cold. Or you can buy elderberry from your local pharmacy as well. And that's been proven to decrease the length of your common cold and the flu.
Now, fever doesn't necessarily mean you're contagious. It's better, though, if you act like you are contagious. Think of keeping those hands clean and just trying to prevent any germ sharing. Well, you might be hustling to cross gifts off your list, but you do want to be careful. The Now's Andy Taylor here to show us how scammers are trying to take advantage of some desperate shoppers.
Well, if you're shopping for kids, you may have already heard of this toy, the LOL Surprise Doll. Well, the BBB says this isn't just a favorite for children, but for scammers too. And that's because scammers know how popular this toy is right now. So they're hoping parents will search for the toy online and be taken to a fake page to buy it. Online thieves are getting smarter and creating pages that look so real. And sometimes they'll even offer discounted prices with last-minute deals or flash sales. A lot of people have already reported paying online for this toy, but never getting a receipt or even a tracking number. And there are ways to avoid becoming a victim. So the BBB says only buy toys from reputable stores and websites, but be skeptical of the price you're paying. And if the price is extremely low, then it's probably not legitimate. And always research before you buy. Also, if you see a customer service phone number or email, make sure it works before you hand over your payment information. All good tips, Annie. Thanks. Meanwhile, Santa was busy at work in Kern County bringing Christmas cheer to local cancer patients and survivors. Adventist Health inviting all cancer patients and survivors for a holiday party today at their AIS Cancer Center in central Bakersfield. The director of the Cancer Center saying the event is a great way to bring everyone together and bring joy to those going through treatment.
Wonderful. It's an absolutely wonderful experience. It's all about giving back and letting people know that we're here to help them when they're going through the treatment, but then to celebrate when they're finished.
Today's free holiday party included food, live music, some information on cancer treatment, and of course, a visit by Santa Claus. For more information on the Cancer Center, visit our website, turnto23.com. It's a problem in Kern County, the Central Valley, and across the country. Thieves stealing packages from people's doorsteps. According to one industry estimate, 31% of consumers have been victims. One tech company says they have a solution, and soon it'll be ready for delivery. It's called the E-Door. It was developed just to the north of us in Fresno by the company Strategic Innovations. Chief designer Royce Newcomb says he came up with the idea 5 years ago. Each door has a camera system and can be outfitted with multiple E-boxes. You can have each one serve a different purpose if need be, so you can store dry cleaning, packages, really anything in them. Each e-box opens with an e-key, and they're kept on electronic devices like cell phones. So when the e-key is in range, the e-box unlocks and then expands. After it's closed, it can only be opened from inside. They also have high security e-boxes for sensitive items like medications. These include fingerprint scanners. So if an item is too big to fit in the e-box, it can be attached to an e-tether.
If a package is touched or moved in any way, the audible and the visual alarm go off, but it also captures your cell phone. It eliminates the entire possibility of package theft by putting it in a secure environment where it's easy for the consumer to retrieve it.
Well, it's all still in the prototype stage. The goal is to have the E-Door in production by March of 2019. They're also hoping to partner up with big online retailers like Amazon. A local animal rescue organization is working to help Kern County reach its goal of becoming no-kill through a special promotional event. Wings of Rescue is partnering with the Bakersfield SPCA to get pits and pit mixes fixed. The two organizations and race car driver Giacomo Yakaman are holding Operation Pit Stop in Bakersfield. So anyone bringing in a pit bull or pit bull mix will have their dog altered for free and receive a raffle ticket to win a free 70-inch high-definition smart TV. You can make an appointment to spay or neuter your dog and win by calling the Bakersfield SPCA at 323-8353. The SPCA is located at 3000 Gibson Street in Northwest Bakersfield. SPCA officials say altering your dog will add a year on average to his or her life, reduce veterinary costs, and help in shelter overcrowding and euthanasia. All right, shifting now to a live look at downtown Bakersfield. Look at those clouds rolling through the area. It is nice and chilly out there, Allison.
It is a little bit chilly this evening, and that is all due to a storm that made its way through Kern County earlier this morning. Now, rain totals across the county. Bakersfield just seen a trace of rain, but areas like Delano just less than a tenth, and in our mountain cities, more than 2/10 up to a 1/4 of an inch of rain. So we did see that measurable rainfall up in the mountains, and that did bring, well, warmer than average temperatures today. 64 degrees was our high. Normal for this time of year, 56 degrees. But that system is now pushing off to our east, so we are seeing still some low-hanging clouds, but that will be clearing as we head into the middle portion of the week. But behind that system, we are tracking very strong winds. There is a wind advisory that will be impacting our mountain and desert cities that started at 2 o'clock this afternoon, continuing until 1 in the morning tomorrow. So wind gusts are going to be anywhere from 15 to 25, potentially up to 50 miles per hour. And we are seeing those strong winds up in the Kern River Valley as well as down into our desert cities at this hour. But thankfully, those strong winds helping to clear out our air quality just slightly. We'll still be in the moderate range, but on the lower end with an AQI of 59. And there are no restrictions, but burning is discouraged. So again, we are going to be seeing cooler temperatures on the back end of that storm in the upper 50s, then jumping up to the 60s on Wednesday and Thursday. And due to those clearing skies, we actually could be seeing some fog here in the valley. And then the countdown to Christmas is on, just 8 days away, and it looks like we could be seeing some rain here in the valley with a chance to see some snow in the mountains, but we will be continuing to track that as we get closer. The Now Bakersfield will be right back.
All right, let's get the Now News feed started here with some new information showing just how important healthy eating is at school. There's a study by Yale University that showed middle schools that promote healthy eating through programs had healthier students who had a slower rise in body mass index. The study followed students for 5 years. Well, there's concerns about a future recession, according to a new Reuters report. Study found that credit card and commercial real estate lenders are starting to cut relationships with customers who just seem too risky. And researchers say that could be a sign of what's to come. Apple facing a new lawsuit, the suit accusing Apple of lying about its display on the newest iPhone. Now, the suit claims Apple exaggerated screen size and the amount of pixels, but for the common folk out here, really splitting hairs, it seems, with this one. The suit claims that Apple says its screen is 5.8 inches when it's really about 5.6875 inches. All right, a sea of wreaths now decorating Arlington National Cemetery just in time for Christmas. Veterans and heroes honored by the Wreaths Across America organization. The Now's Nicole Val takes us there, where thousands of volunteers all across 50 states and beyond took time to offer some holiday spirit to the fallen.
If you look across this field of stones, it's massive, but we want to make sure that every individual receives a wreath and their name is spoken out loud.
Dozens of trucks, thousands of volunteers, and more than 260,000 Christmas wreaths. With umbrellas in hand, the rain at Arlington National Cemetery Saturday didn't stop this day of service, all for those who have served.
We take this opportunity to honor all our veterans wherever they're lying in cemeteries.
Larry Landon donating his time, carefully unboxing and placing wreaths with 14 of his Boy Scouts.
Our troop unloaded one truck. We did over 36,000 wreaths were laid at grave sites today here at Arlington with the help of these boys. It's a great opportunity as a scout leader to help reinforce to the boys what's important about service to our country. So it gives them an opportunity to come out here and see that as well.
It's just something simple that I can do. And I have family members buried here, my granddad, my uncle, my great uncle, and it's really important that I respect and remember their legacy.
A tradition in its 27th year, spanning all 50 states and into 26 countries. 1.8 million wreaths total, ending at our nation's most honored burial ground. The goal is to give heroes across the world a gift this holiday season, a gift that they will never be forgotten.
And the rockets
we need to say that name out loud of every single veteran that's in the cemetery, so that they're always going to be remembered and they'll never die.
They went through the snow, the rain, the sleet, and the hail, but they never, ever, ever stopped. And so I'm thankful that we have taken the baton and we're honoring and remembering them, and we're teaching our children the value of freedom.
We need to be reminded as Americans to be the kind of Americans that are worth fighting for, and that's by carrying their stories and their legacy forward and making sure it's embedded in the hearts and minds of our children.
It always makes me feel good. It always makes me feel like I'm doing something good for a country.
In Arlington, Virginia, I'm Nicole Vowell reporting.
Very important message there, Nicole. Thank you. And next to our lineup, a tech checkup while you have the family together for the holidays could be a good idea. Could be a big benefit for everyone. We'll explain next. You're watching The Now. Around the holidays, a lot of us spend a good amount of time with our parents, maybe grandparents, and Kamasi Aaron's here to explain why it's a good time to give them a tech checkup.
Anyone with a cell phone or Facebook is vulnerable to crooks trying to get your money, and we know older people are more of a target. If you're friends with your grandparents or your parents on Facebook, take a visit over the holidays as an opportunity to look at their account settings. Make sure important info like their birthday and address are set to private or friends only. A simple way that you can do that is through Facebook's privacy checkup by clicking on the question mark at the top right corner of their account page. Now, only 1/3 of people 65 and older have online access to their financial accounts. This is according to AARP, but they should so they can keep an eye out for fraud. Now, help set up online accounts through their bank accounts and their credit cards, and you can sign them up for account alerts for spending. Go ahead and change their passwords on accounts that they already have set up and do two-factor authentication. And finally, take a look at their cell phone. Download an app so they can block those pesky robocalls or set up a caller ID protection service through their cell phone carrier and show them how they can block calls from suspicious numbers.
Kamasi, thank you. And legal marijuana is a booming business worth billions across the U.S. And as more states make weed legal, more jobs become open. And tomorrow on The Now, we're taking a deep dive into just how much money you could make working in marijuana and if it's a good fit for you.
Coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11, a popular holiday yard display is back up and shining bright tonight after recently getting hit by thieves and vandalism. How the community came together and made it all happen. We have that story and much more coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11. If you were out enjoying those lights already this evening, you were likely in a nice warm coat.
I think so, and maybe have the heat on in your car if you're driving through any of there as well. But skies are slowly clearing as we head into the evening hours, but that's dropping temperatures down quickly. So already at 56 degrees right now in Bakersfield and down into the 30s in our mountain cities. So you can expect near seasonal temperatures on Tuesday, but then warming right back up and clearing up as we head into the later portion of the work week.
Looking forward to the heat and the sun. Yeah. That's going to do it for us here on The Now. We'll see you back here tonight for 23 ABC News at 11.